The 3 months wait between seasons of You and I Are Polar Opposites is going to be tough. But there may just be no better reprieve than an anime based on a manga from the same author, Agasawa Kocha. Ramparts of Ice just debuted for this spring season, and there's already some interesting comparisons to be made. It's funny to see how the character designs are similar across shows, but different production studios means that the surrounding elements look completely different. There's elements of the comedy and personalities that also ring true to You and I Are Polar Opposites. But honestly, the comparisons really kind of end there, at least so far. Ramparts of Ice takes on a wildly different tone out of the gate from its anime predecessor, though funnily enough, as a manga it was published first. Koyuki, our protagonist, is defined by those titular walls that she has constructed around herself. Her middle school life really jaded her to the world, and she greets even kind strangers with suspicion. It's not as if she's cruel though, and there's a disconnect between the brisk exterior she puts out and the general apathy she feels towards others. In this way, Koyuki is defined by her contradictions, both within herself and with those around her. This is a huge departure from You and I Are Polar Opposites, where it seems like everyone is wearing their hearts on their sleeves at all times. Even troubled characters like Taira and Azuma have only thin veils over their true state. Here in Ramparts of Ice, it's clear that a large focus is going to be put on how Koyuki manages her guarded feelings. The others we meet in this pilot are the same way. Miki resents how much the class reveres her, and wishes she could act more like her true self. Minato is much more subdued around Koyuki than he is around his friends. The big thing I'm looking forward to seeing is how quickly these main characters open up to each other, considering how breakneck the pacing was in Polar Opposites. One more thing I want to talk about is the post-credit scene. Koyuki getting accosted by those two guys hitting on her was a sharp insertion of reality in a way that really took me by surprise. I appreciate the real feeling of stakes in a moment like this. We can feel how unnatural it is for Koyuki to reach out for help, and I liked in some ways how we got to see her stand up for herself before Yota did eventually arrive. This was undoubtedly where it felt like the show took a sharp turn away from Polar Opposites, which feels like it takes place in a perfect world sometimes. I'm definitely interested to see where this grittier through line goes throughout the season, and how it intermingles with the friendship and love that is sure to come. Watching the premiere of Ramparts of Ice was a bit of a surreal experience. It was like a bizarro version of You and I Are Polar Opposites, but in a world where the characters are much more brooding and isolated. It threw me off for a little, but by the time the episode wrapped up, I was fully excited to see what comes next. Also, as a side note, if you're the manga author, it has to be wild to have 75% of the calendar year be airing an adaptation of one of your works. Here's hoping that this ends up being an equally great entry when all is said and done. And that ends today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I didn't want to drag things out too long for just a pilot recap. Have you watched it? If so, what did you think? I can't wait to hear your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the video today and like video essays about romance, anime, and romance anime, liking and subscribing helps a ton and will keep you in the loop, as does hitting the hype button on the mobile app. I'm Slam Anime, and I'll see you next time.